You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
Here he goes. Throwing it down. How about a poster? Anthony Davis is on fire.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming on with you. And on the line via Skype, we have DC chiming in. How you doing, DC? Well, tonight, man, we're going to be recapping Game 2 of the conference semi, I guess you could say the semis. Oh, man. Dealing with the Pelicans loss tonight. 121-116 to the Golden State Warriors. And before we get into it, we're going to start off by giving you a round of applause for joining us today on this Pelican post-game report. As we recap this very entertaining game. Let's just say that much. It was a very entertaining matchup, to say the least. On podcast 186. And we'll be recapping with stats, facts, and breakdowns, interviews. We'll have Coach Al Gentry chime in and tell us what he thinks about the game. Of course, we always have our Pelican topics. And we'll discuss the Pelicans, it's a lot, man. Number one, we're going to talk about the matchup insanity.
They got you tongue-tied and brain farted, too.
Man.
Trying to figure this out, man. It's a little crazy, bro.
Well, we're going to talk about matchup insanity. And what I mean by that is Holiday guarding Kevin Durant, Etwaun Moore guarding Kevin Durant. And some of the things that we've been seeing is some of our mismatches size-wise. Even some of the national guys mention this as well. We'll also talk about the Pelicans' top men stood up as well. Some of, Rajon Rondo, Anthony Davis, nikola-mirotic, Jrue Holiday, those guys put in a good performance.
They showed up, man.
They showed up and showed out. Also, we'll talk about coming home for a must-win Game 3. That'll be Friday night, as the Pelicans come home to the Big Easy to face off against Golden State, and what is definitely a must-win for the Pelicans. And then
you got to mention something else. I'm sorry.
I'm about to get to it right now. No, just let me make it to it.
AD didn't shoot any free throws, bro. I mean,
I know.
That should be the opening headline of the show, bro.
Well, if I put it last because it's the most infuriating of the topics. So instead of getting fired up when I said it from the jump, I put it last so I can get all the way through the rundown so that I wouldn't have to go off and spoil the rundown. And that is, of course, the fact that the referees are wearing Golden State colors once again. And, of course, we ain't just sour grapes here. I know we got some Golden State Warriors fans out here that monitor the podcast, of course. It's not sour grapes, Warrior fans. We played you really well this game. You only won by a handful of points, despite the fact that you had a good outing from Steph-Curry, who came back.
Might have been lower than that if we got that jump ball.
Well, it's just amazing to me, man. And it's one of the things that I absolutely hate about the NBA. I'm not one of those guys to turn my head the other way and pretend like I didn't see that guy not make that call, or that guy didn't be consistent in making the calls, or the numbers that back up why we're not getting attempts at the free throw line in the games 1 and 2. I'm gonna give you stats on that, so just stay with me here. And then, of course, toward the back end of the podcast, we'll preview Game 3 here in the Big Easy Friday afternoon. We're actually nighttime. So with all that said, let's jump right into it in the Pelican post-game report. Pelicans come up short, man, and they fought all the way to the end of the game. I must say, I'm proud of my Pelicans. I'm just going to say it. I'm proud of my Pelicans. I'm not going to get up here and bash my club. I am very proud of the way the Pelicans played this game. Not so much the first game, but I still love my team. But I'm really proud of how they responded to the Golden State Warriors, because the Pelicans, it's obvious to anybody who have two brain cells and two good eyes to rub together or to see, that they are not just fighting great players on the Golden State Warriors staff, they're also fighting the blatant disrespect and the blatant non-calling of these hideous, stinking, rotten referees. And I'm going to give you names of these people, and we're going to start that here. You know what? I'm gonna just hold that. DC, give me your thoughts on the game, because I'm gonna hold it. But just give me your thoughts on what you thought about the game before we get to Al Gentry's interview.
All right, Private Investor Q. Let me let you know.
There you go.
First off,
I'm on the case, baby. I'm on the case.
I see that. Man, it's one stat that's amazing to me, man. And it has to be something weird. They say we can't play at the Warriors' pace, but I would like everybody to just think about this for a second. The Pelicans were able to get up 105 shots. The Warriors only got up 91 shots. We're actually playing at a faster pace than them. But you got the free throws. They got 27 attempts. We got 9. So out of them 100, we shot. It's almost depressing, dude. We shot 13 more shots than them. Well, 14 more shots than them. And we only got 9 free throws? And they got 27 with 14 less shots? It's insane, man. But outside of that, to not just keep crying over referees, because obviously the players still have a chance to take it in their own hands and supersede those little evil bastards. I think the Pelicans played with great poise, a lot of effort, great energy. They were playing an amazing Warriors team, and outside of the referees, Steph-Curry was very phenomenal. So was Kevin Durant, but I guess it's easy when you're shooting over what's essentially like a child to him. I don't understand why Etwaun Moore was on KT.
That's totally.
But it was a very entertaining game, and I was pleased with the fight. So let's hope they carry that on home, bro.
Well, that's well said, DC. And if anything, this team has showed me throughout watching them and monitoring them and reading about them and watching them and observing them and going to see them this entire season, is the fact that they have a lot of heart. They could have quit a long time ago. They could have quit when DeMarcus
they
went down.
fought till the end.
They could have went to Tom Benson. They came back and They came back and with the heart and scared Golden State to the point where Steve Kerr had to call a late timeout because he seen the Pelicans had went on a 7-0 run and a 7-0 run with like a minute left in the game. It scared them. So we can get hot too.
This still can be a series, man, where we make a big turn going back home, because the Pelicans are not giving up.
Yes.
They're still fighting.
Yes, they are fighting.
They're not going to roll over.
Right. They're not. Let's listen to what Al Gentry had to say after the game. Here's Coach Gentry.
Alvin, you've been on a team with Draymond Green. You've been on a team against him. How does he get under the skin of opponents, and what effect did he have on the game tonight?
I don't think he got under anyone's skin. I mean, if that's what you mean. He's a good player. I mean, he gets under your skin because he almost has a triple-double. But other than that, I mean, our guys know who he is and what he's about, and so you just continue to play. You don't let any of that affect your play or what you're trying to do. Where he's effective is, he ends up with whatever the heck he did, almost a triple-double. So that's what you worry about. You don't worry about the things that he's saying.
Coach, picking up on what you were talking about with Draymond, him and Rondo got into a bit of a tussle, and it seemed like when we talked to Kerr, he kind of welcomed that as long as they didn't get as technical. How did you feel about the exchange between those two players?
Yeah, it's basketball, guys. It's the playoffs. It's going to happen when you're playing a team at least 4 times. There's going to be, those little incidents, whatever you want to call them, but it's no big deal. It's just basketball. Those guys got total respect for each other, and it's just part of it. That you won't get a story out of that one. You're going to have another angle, really.
Alvin in the back. On Saturday night, you can almost throw that one away, say, you know what, we didn't play very well, they were hot, we lost by 20-something. Tonight you guys, for the most part, played pretty darn well, and you still didn't win. Is that more disappointing?
No. I mean, you want me to talk in coaches' cliches? Okay, I will. The only thing they did was what they were supposed to do. They won their 2 home games, and now we get to go home to play. Obviously we played hard, and there was a lot of things that we improved on, and there's a lot of things that we got to continue to improve on. But, they still got to win 2 more games, and we have games at our place, and then, we got to find a way to get to the foul line. They've shot 59 foul shots. We've shot 20. And so we've got to find a way to get to the foul line. We did what we wanted to as far as taking the ball to the basket. We had 66 points in the paint. We had 39 fast break points. So that's all playing in our favor, and there's just a few things that we've got to continue to get better at.
Coach, right here. Coach. Yes, How difficult is it when you feel like you did such a good job against KD for most of the game?
That's Coach Al Gentry. That's Coach Al Gentry breaking down the game, man. And he had some interesting stats, DC. We talking about, like you mentioned, the fact that the Pelicans had 105 attempts and converted 48 of those for 45%. Might as well say 46%, 45.7. And 46%, the Golden State Warriors were 43 of 91 for 47%. 13 of 37 from downtown, the Pelicans were for 35%. 13 for 40 from downtown for 32.5% was Golden State. You look at the rebounds, Golden State out-rebounded the Pelicans just by 3 rebounds, 49 to 46. They had 3 more assists than the Pelicans, 36 to 33. The Pelicans had more steals, 12 to 10. Golden State did have more blocks, 8 to 4, but the Pelicans only had 14 turnovers and 22 points off of turnovers. Golden State had 16 turnovers with 22 points off of theirs. The Pelicans had 39 points in fast break points versus 24 by G State and dominated the paint.
Run with them.
You
can't run with them, though.
But dominated the paint. Points in the paint, 66 to 38. Dominated the paint. Yet and still, they only came out with a 5. Golden State came out with a 5-point win. The obvious stat from me, in my view of following and watching this game, is the glaring and overwhelming fact is the free throws.
Right.
22 converted free throws by Golden State. They went to the line 27 times. They had 27 attempts and converted 22 of them. So they got 22 points off their free throws. How many did the Pelicans get an opportunity to go to the foul line? 9 times. Now, I'm going to brush up against this stat a little later because in the separate topics. But understand, Pelican fan, this is not sour grapes. This is the second time that we were only allowed to go to the foul line 9 times. 9 times versus a team like Golden State that's shooting 47% from the field. They were at 48% at halftime. Pelicans stayed with them the whole way. It's just amazing to me when you come down and you look at all of the stuff that the Pelicans have to do to beat Golden State. Let me
put it in perspective for them, man, because you're telling them about free throws, but I don't think they really get it. But we watched Alvin Gentry just say it and look at this stat as opposed to 27 to 9. In the series, it's 59 free throws to 20.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
20.
That's terrible.
AD had a game in which he had 25 points.
How many times Anthony Davis went to the line tonight?
And he did not go to the line not once.
That is outright.
Everybody's seen
that is totally repugnant.
A play where AD was thrown to the ground by Draymond Green, tangled up as Draymond Green is grabbing and pulling him and doing all kind of stuff. And he got his hands in the air. And they called a double foul. What?
Jrue Holiday is a guy that...
Before you say that, I got one more.
This is upon your point.
I want to give them.
Go ahead, hurry up. This is upon your point.
They gotta hurry up, you rushing me now. They got a play with Steph-Curry Well, Steph Curry shoots, he pump fakes, gets AD in the air, and then he goes to shoot. But he never made contact with Anthony Davis. And the referees knew it was bad. The cameraman probably knew too, because they refused to show the replay.
The thing that's just totally ridiculous, we about to go into our break here, is that Jrue Holiday played 47 minutes. He was 11 from 24 in this game. He attacks the paint. That's what Jrue does. He had 24 points, 8 assists, and 8 rebounds. He did not have one attempt at the free throw line tonight. In their game, both Anthony Davis and Jrue Holiday games is to attack the cup. Not one of those guys got free throw attempts. Are you kidding me, referees? That's all right. We got your ass on the other side of the break. I'm going to name these I'm going to give you the name to the referees and all that on the other side of the break. We're going to cover our Pelican topics and all that on the other side, plus the preview for Game 3. Stick with us on the Pelican Post-Game Report.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelicans. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings and potential moves, unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
I'm a Saints and Pelicans fan, so the only podcast I can get my fix is The Sports Coma with Big Q. The guy's intense, funny, and they always keep it real.
Check out The Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, sports world? It's Big Q from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Talking to you about the website, theposhlifestyle.com. That's right, poshlifestyle.com. A great website where you can get great products at great prices. They sell organic herbs, vitamins, supplements, water filters for your home, EMF and cell phone radiation protection, healing magnetics and healing crystals, personal protection devices like cell phones, stun guns, and mace sprays, organic deodorants, shampoos, soaps, toothpaste, and more. They also sell 10A grade Brazilian hair. 10A music is available now. All kind of the latest downloadable mixtapes. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to theposhlifestyle.com. That's the Posh Lifestyle, life spelled with a Y, LYFD style.com. Put in the Sports Coma for the 10% discount on your purchase. It's a win-win. So get your mind and body right with the Posh Lifestyle.
Forget ESPN or Fox. Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, we are the Pelican Post-Game Report Playoff Edition on the PRO Media Network, recapping game number 2 of round 2 of Golden State versus New Orleans. Of course, the Golden State Warriors now take a 2-0 lead on the Pelicans as they defeat them 121-116 in a game in which we had 11 ties. The longest run was 11 points, and they had 11 lead changes. Absolutely a very eventful game, ultimately decided by 5 points and in favor of the Golden State Warriors. DC, before I play Rondo, Anthony Davis, and Jrue Holiday's post-game press conference, go ahead and make your point on what you were saying pre-break.
Well, basically, I was trying to ad-lib and throw something in there while you was making some very valid points. I mean, it's almost insane to think that a team can score 66 points in the paint. And we all know in the NBA, you're coached to not give up free layups and all of these type of things. So you have 66 points in the paint. That is almost absurd to translate that into 9 free throw attempts. I mean, it's mind-boggling to even think about it. Then you have the Warriors who had 38 points in the paint. And, in the paint is probably the most physical area on the basketball court. So they had 38 points in the paint, and they had 27 attempts. They almost had as many attempts from the free throw line as they had as points in the paint. I mean, it's very, mind-boggling, and it's like nobody talks about this. This is like the elephant in the room. So luckily you got here myself and Big Q with the Pelican post-game report, and we're going to give y'all the real. Because, I mean, you can't look at those stats and just gloss right over that and act like they don't exist.
Absolutely. You're absolutely spot on, brother, as usual. Spot on. Looking at some of the points before we hit that interview with the trio of Davis, Rondo, and Jrue Holiday. Top scorer for the Pelicans was Anthony Davis. He finished the night with 25 points and 15 rebounds. He had 3 blocks.
Hey, Q, you going to pay my fine?
We're going to go off on him. Don't even worry about it. On 12 of 24 shooting and 43 minutes. Jrue Holiday finished with 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists in the game in 47 minutes. Jrue almost played the entire game, man. He didn't come off the floor. Excellent performance for Jrue Holiday. The third score was Rajon Rondo, who elevated his game once again. He had 22 points, 12 assists, and 7 rebounds. Of course, he had 7 turnovers. He was trying to do a little bit too much, right? So,
yeah.
But then nikola-mirotic came alive in the second half as well. He finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds. Would have done better, but he fouled out in the last few minutes on a bull crap foul. And bull crap foul, in my opinion.
He was hot too, man. When they put him out, bro,
right.
he turned this game around. He started off real rough.
17 of 16 shooting from the field, 3 of 8 from downtown. And he finished with 18 points, 9 rebounds. The referees fouled him out. Second straight game with the referees and had some of our key players in foul trouble. Jrue Holiday had 5 fouls in the first game that limited his effectiveness. Also, 5 fouls from Etwaun Moore and 4 off the bench from Ian Clark that kept him quiet. They kept it going. They fouled out Mirotic in this game. This is very unsettling. Etwaun Moore finished with a conservative game, another quality game, 14 points on 5 of 13 shooting from the field, 4 of 8 from downtown. So the starting 5 played very sturdy basketball.
Rondo
depending
was
on
handcuffed too. Rondo was playing with 5 fouls tonight. So
absolutely, that's
true. That's gonna
too.
limit what you can do on the defensive side of things. And was I crazy, or when they called that foul with him on Kevin Durant? Did you not? I didn't see anything. Or maybe that was Andre Iguodala on Rondo. It was supposed to be a foul, but I didn't really see nothing. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
It's a lot.
The crazy dunk that popped up and. He tried to dunk it, and when the end came down and went
everything was working.
Yeah.
Everything was working for Golden State. But let's get into the interview with AD, Jrue Holiday, Rajon Rondo, give their thoughts on the game.
It's tough. All the stuff they got easy in the first game, we took it away. We was in it the whole game. We were playing great defense. Draymond hit 2 threes, kind of, had some separation, but we got a lot of looks. We get to the line as much as we wanted, but for the most part, I think we did a good job.
Anthony, what makes Draymond so difficult to keep off the boards? Why is he, at a smaller size, obviously, so effective as a rebounder?
I don't know, shit. Rebound the ball, fuck. Yeah. He's the only big on that team who plays. So, somebody got to rebound.
All right. 0 free throw attempts for Anthony and Jrue tonight. Do you guys feel that you need to get to the line more? Is it that you're getting fouled and they're not calling it, or do you guys need to attack harder?
We gotta get to the line. I don't think I shot that many jumpers tonight. I don't think Jrue shot that many. We both attacking the basket.
48 FGAs. Both of those guys shot the ball combined 48 times. I think we were attacking just as they were. A lot, however you want to put it, didn't go our way, but that's not an excuse. Like I said, we got the shots we wanted. Our guys were aggressive. and, things will turn, hopefully for the better in Game 3.
For all three, Saturday night you can almost maybe throw that one away. You didn't play very well. The Warriors did. Tonight for 3.5 quarters, maybe the whole game, for the most part you played well and you still lost. Is that more disappointing than Game 1?
I don't think so. Like you said, we played well the whole game, but I think we got a rhythm back. We got a groove back. Maybe just a couple things here and there that we need to change, but definitely a positive turnout from this game.
Rajon, it seemed like you and Draymond were kind of going at it during the game, and especially right before halftime. What happened in your eyes in that moment?
Nothing, just two guys playing with passion. That's about it. Nothing.
So, now going into Game 3, what do you feel like is the main thing you guys have to improve to get that win to get back into the series?
We're going home. Our crowd.
That's Jrue Holiday, Rajon Rondo, Anthony Davis all chiming in on their thoughts in a very difficult loss. 121-116. They gave it their all.
Difficult interview, too.
Very difficult because they were avoiding not being fined by the league.
Yeah. The reporter was trying his best to set him up, boy.
I tell you what, the reporter asked valid question about that, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They didn't spill the beans, but guess what? We gonna spill the beans. In this particular game here, it's just absolutely asinine. DC gave his very credible take on the referee situation about the foul conversions over the past two games, and it's utterly repugnant. It's not even believable what you're doing. The referees for tonight and tonight's shameful game was Jason Phillips, Sean Wright, and Mike Callahan. Those are the referees tonight in this game. Now, of course, we gave our thoughts on the game. We're going to move forward with some of our topics pertaining to the game. We already spoke about the Pels top men standing out. Mirotic, 18, AD, 25, Etwaun Moore with 14, 22 from Rondo, and 24 from Jrue Holiday. The starting five stood up. Big ups to them. Bench, not so much. Thumbs down to you, Solomon Hill.
Something going on with the bench.
Solomon Hill, thumbs down to you. You were pretty pathetic tonight.
Thumbs down, hands down.
Yeah, hands off. Hands off, chopped off. For Solomon Hill, pathetic night by Solomon Hill, just terrible. So bad that the man put Sheik Diallo in there. He don't even have confidence in Sheik Diallo to even to play the man. But kudos for him for even putting him in there for 4 minutes. Ian Clark played 6 minutes tonight, 1 of 2 for just 2 points, not even a factor in the game.
Definitely got some more minutes. For his scoring capabilities, I think he could have definitely helped us out with some of them stretch runs and gave somebody a breather, like maybe a Jrue Holiday, so he could have been more effective in the fourth quarter or towards the end of the game. I'm sure that guy was gassed by the time they were late into the fourth quarter.
You know, the obvious thing, that's very true, and it continues to happen. He has to find a consistent 5 guys to rotate to give minutes to the starters. He's still playing with the bench lineup. They don't have any cohesion. And he's trying to play I understand you're trying to give your stars more time because it is the playoffs, but you cannot negate your bench. Negating your bench meaning that these guys are not effective when they need to be there because they don't have enough rest. Anthony Davis is getting beat up in the post, and he's complaining he's not getting any calls. You play 43 minutes in this game, 12 or 24, and you do not get one foul attempt. Neither does Jrue Holiday, and both of those guys attack the paint more than anybody. More than anybody on this team.
You bring up a very, very valid point. And all we got to do is look at the Warriors. You had Draymond Green with 41 minutes. Andre Iguodala played 31 minutes. Kevin Durant had 41. Nick Young had 11. Klay-Thompson had 38 minutes. David West had 11 minutes. Looney had 23 minutes. Steph-Curry scored 28 points in 27 minutes. And you had Sean Livingston with 14 minutes. So there were 4 players, almost a full starting 5, off of their bench that contributed well over 10 minutes. And they didn't have no players on their team that had 47 minutes. But AD and Jrue Holiday will have to play a lot of minutes, unfortunately, for us to have a shot. But I do agree in needing to extend the minutes of people on the bench. You have to find a rotation that's going to give you something. I'm still befuddled at why a guy like Crawford, after scoring 16 points in 8 minutes, doesn't at least get 8 minutes. Maybe he could have gave you 16 points.
If anything, that's going to be the thing that hurts them the most, because he can't get it in his head to stop freaking with the bench and have a consistent group of people to come off so they can have some cohesion. Let's attack this referee point, because we're going to hit the preview for the third show in a few minutes. The referees in this game, like I called their names, Jason Phillips, Sean Wright, Mike Callahan, had a shameful night. They only allowed the Pelicans. It's the second straight. Now, the previous team of referees was a different group of guys from the first game. They did the same thing. From game one, just to let you know, the game one officials were Bill Kennedy, Kevin Moyer, and James Williams. Okay, the Pelicans lost that game 123-101. Sorry to bring that up again. But the fact the Pelicans went to the line 11 times in game one. They had 11 attempts, 9 of 11. The Golden State Warriors went to the line 32 times and converted 24 of them. 24 points off the free throw line. Game two, Jason Phillips, Sean Wright, Mike Callahan, officiating staff. They even take 2 more attempts from the Pelicans and call 9 fouls for the Pelicans, which they converted 7 of 9, while giving Golden State 27 attempts from the foul line, in which they converted 22 of them. This is utterly ridiculous, stupid, and crooked. Anybody with eyes to see can see that Anthony Davis was mugged. He's being held, and it is unfair for anybody that's playing the game like they're playing to have to fight the Golden State Warriors, who are a tremendous and great team. They're gonna go down in the NBA as one of the greatest shooting teams ever. We have to come in your building.
The hell with shooting, just one of the greatest teams ever.
We got to come in your building and beat you with all of that firepower, and then have to battle with the goddamn referees too, who continue to give them 22 plus free throw attempts, along with this team shooting 45% or better from the field and 40-something% from the 3-point line. This is totally stupid and crooked. And it's not just the referees. This is systemic. The numbers indicate, how do you both look at the game like you did? And then the really angering part about the whole thing is when at the end of the game, Rajon Rondo ties up with Kevin Durant, wraps his arm around the ball, looks at the freaking official, and the official holds his whistle and waits till the time run. He didn't even call the jump ball. He didn't even call a jump ball. He just let the time run out. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to make the call. That's how incredibly crooked and underhanded this is. That's why a lot of people get offended when they watch, because you're playing with our intelligence. We see how you officiate in the game. That's why I'm upset. Is if you're playing with my intelligence, not saying, well, that's not a foul, that's not a foul. That's bullshit. I see what you're doing. It's crooked. It's immoral. It's just terrible. At the end of the day, people are going to walk away from this because of the foolishness the underhanded referees want to do if you're trying to walk Golden State into another battle with Cleveland Cavaliers so you can make money off of rankings. Come on, man. Come on.
Possibly so.
So, I mean,
just to give another valid point.
Yeah, go with that, DC, and we're going to jump into our preview for game.
I'm going to give you another valid point on top of what you're saying, man. In this whole series, AD and Jrue Holiday combined have 6 free throw attempts.
That's sickening, man. That's absolutely
I'm not even going to look
sickening.
at what Kevin Durant probably has by himself, or with a klay-thompson. I'm pretty sure one of the Star Warriors players probably trumps both of our stars together in the attempts that they had. So, I mean, when you look at it from that standpoint, it's almost like it's amazing, man. It's amazing. Like, for instance, Draymond Green, just in the first game, he had 6 free throw attempts by himself in one game.
It's terrible.
You know, and that's more than both of our starting all-star caliber players combined. You know what I'm saying? One player from the Warriors may have more free throw attempts than our whole team.
You know what? This is, like you just read, is a stat that an ESPN guy just tweeted out that you just mimicked, DC, that he's basically saying what you're saying. Key stat in the series so far, Warriors have gone to the free throw line 59 times in 2 games. The free throws helped them beat the Pelicans in both games. The Pelicans did all that and barely lost this game. Pelicans have gone to the line just 20 times versus 59 times by Golden State. Alvin Gentry and the players didn't use any excuses after the game, but they know they have to be more aggressive to create more whistles going into the game. See, I'm not going to feed into y'all bullshit paradigm. It's not you can't get more aggressive. The referee has to make the call.
That's aggressive,
right? You got almost 70 points in the paint. What do you want him to? What do you want them to do? What more aggressive is that? Get 100 points in the paint to force the referees to make calls they're supposed to make? That's foolishness. We don't play into your goddamn paradigm. We ain't gonna pretend like these referees is not making the calls. They're not judging the game fairly, and it's obvious. It's not even a good, like a sneaky card trick hand guy, like a magician that is good at playing sleight of hand or something. It's terrible, crooked officiating that's blatantly obvious, and it's insulting to our intelligence to watch you sit up here and pretend like you calling these games fair when the stats prove that it's terrible. It's just absolutely, they are contributing to helping Golden State and beating the Pelicans. The Pelicans shouldn't have to beat Golden State, which is difficult enough, and these rotten, crooked, underhanded ass referees too.
That just lets you know how afraid of the potential of the Pelicans that they actually are if they want to have another Cleveland Golden State series, which obviously would probably make more money than a Cleveland Pelicans or even Houston for that matter, or the Jazz. The Jazz will probably be the lowest ranking one out of all of them. So it's very interesting. And they try to give us some calls to, I guess, make it seem fair. But the two people that shoot the most on our teams, it's just amazing to me that they had no free throws tonight. 24 attempts from Jrue Holiday and AD, 0 at the foul line.
0. Not even worthy of one call.
AD only shot 3 3-pointers. So all of his points tonight, AD did what we always talk about on the show as far as being in the paint, being aggressive. He worked hard and fought inside for the majority of his points. And he was being fouled, and he never got – I mean, come on, man. The man didn't get one free throw attempt? I just can't say that enough. And you're getting all your points in the paint. It's similar thing for Jrue Holiday, even though he was on the perimeter a lot more. But AD was in the paint. Jrue Holiday was driving in the paint like crazy.
Getting fouled on layups and not one time. Right. It's just blatant. And then
they don't complain, man. They don't complain.
They don't complain because they don't want to be fined.
To the average fan, it may go unnoticed. No, I don't think it's not just because they don't want to get fined.
We can't. We got to. Right, we get that. Okay. We got to move on because we're running out of time. Okay, the next thing we got to talk about is, of course, the Pelicans coming home for game number 3. Friday night in the Smoothie King Center. Of course, it's going to be jam-packed to the rafters. We're going to keep an eye on these rotten-ass, crooked-ass referees as well and make sure they don't call and give them only 9 attempts at the free throw line or 11 attempts and all this madness. But, of course, the numbers indicate that Golden State's top people right now are running a gambit. Steph-Curry is back, and it didn't look like he had much lag. Golden State playing lights-out ball at this point. You know, what in looking at that, DC, coming into this final, I mean, not the final, but the first of the home stand, the one of 2 home stand games we're going to have, these are definitely must-win games, both especially 3 and 4, just to make it a series again, now that they're 2 games and up. It's almost heartbreaking to watch what's been happening, even though they still have an opportunity to go. But the Pelicans, as it stands right now, man, have to make more stops. They have to not turn the ball over as much, and they have to play as close to perfect as they possibly can. Looking at game number 3, give me your synopsis as quickly as you can. What has to happen for this game, for the Pelicans to win this game coming up here on Friday night?
The first thing I think that has to happen for the fan base, as well as anybody part of the Pelicans organizations that's been discouraged about what we've been talking about tonight, because even though they're not saying anything, we talk basketball and everything. They're a lot smarter than us with basketball, I'm sure. So they know. So the first thing that has to happen is to understand all hope is not lost. The series does not start until someone loses at home. So if we can go home and manage to give the same effort with the assistance of the crowd, because I find it very hard to believe they're going to go into our home court and only give us 9 free throw attempts. I'm pretty sure people in the national media may start saying something. We're going to hear some rumbling. So I anticipate the Pelicans, maybe, I can't say they're going to get a fair shake at the line, but they're definitely going to have more calls this next game. And if they can continue to challenge and play the Warriors the way they have, we have a strong chance of winning at home, man. So we just need to continue what we've been doing. I don't think we need to change our game plan tremendously other than the defensive end.
Okay, give me a call quickly on the game. We're running out of time here. What happens? Who wins?
Pelicans win, man. I'm going to say it till they get it. The Pelicans win this game very narrow margin by 6 points.
All right, there it is. DC says Pelicans win. I'm going to say the Pelicans need to win, so I'm going to rock with them on the next 2 games. They have to win. If they don't win, they out of here. You know what I'm saying? So we got to turn up the juice. Everybody going to come out and support. And we're going to force their ass to blow some whistles, no doubt about it. We're not going to let you get away with this, bottom line. So that'll do it for the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Appreciate you joining us. If you like the show, go to patreon.com/the PRO Media Network. Make a donation from Big Q and DC. Thank you for joining us.
Peace. Straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
What's up, world? This is DC from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Have you ever been sitting in front of your computer screen, or in traffic, tired, lacking energy, feeling drained? Did you know there are electromagnetic fields or EMF waves all around you that cause this disease? Get it? Dis-ease? Luckily here at Posh Lifestyle, you can get your EMF protection. They have pendants, the shell-dyed bricks, cubes, and pyramids. Check out the PoshLifestyle.com. That's life spelled with a Y. PoshLifestyle.com for all your health needs. So get your mind and body right with a Posh Lifestyle.
Clear, clean, great-tasting filtered water. We're all thirsty for it. But in the U.S. alone, an estimated 2.5 million plastic bottles are added to the environment each year in search of the perfect drink of water. There has to be a better solution, and there is. Crystal Quest, a leader in the manufacturing of water filtration technology, has been providing clean, drinkable water for 20 years. With a deep commitment to providing the highest quality products and excellent customer service, Crystal Quest has been recognized by such leaders as Consumers Digest, Dr. Oz, and Colin Ingram's The Water Drinking Book. Providing cost-effective, reliable water filtration systems for residential, commercial, and industrial customers worldwide, offering our customers the cleanest and most environmental-friendly drinking water at a rating of high purity. With Crystal Quest's water filtration technology, you can rest assured that your water will be crystal clear. Contact our network of authorized distributors and join our thousands of satisfied customers.
Just log into thePoshLifestyle.com. Once again, that is thePoshLifestyle.com.
You're listening to the Pelicans Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
In today's world, children are bombarded with negativity on television, online, and at school. Our kids need to have a positive outlook on life and the world around them. I want to share with you a valuable resource you can use to bring positivity into your child's life. It's the new book, 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image, from author and dad G.J. Barabino. This is a simple guide loaded with wonderful and inspirational affirmations designed to uplift young people's spirits. This positive and powerful children affirmational is chock full and loaded with wonderful inspirational sayings that will lift your child's self-image to whole new levels through the awesome power of spoken word. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image from author and dad G.J. Barabino. Available on Amazon. Order a copy for yourself, your child's teachers, or anyone you know with children. 101 Powerful Children Affirmations, a guide to positive child self-image. Order your copy today.
What is big? Big is taking flight. Big is sending back that weak sauce. Big is ball handling that sets the hardwood on fire. New Orleans Pelicans, do it big.